This is going to be a video response towards Spinnernet. This is basically his video on WWE, television shows, music, video games, and movies don't influence kids to do violent things. Now, as you can see, I'm not putting any music in the background, nor am I putting any intros or outros or anything like that. I want this to be coming straight from the heart. I want people to know that I'm going to be as raw as I can with this, because this is a serious subject. See, as of late, as of the last probably 15 years, maybe longer, don't know, we've been blaming television shows, we've been blaming games, we've been blaming music, and we've been blaming movies, and in some regard, WWE television, for the violent acts that our kids do. I mean, to this day, 10 years after the incident, Eric Harris and Dylan Klebold are still noted as people who pulled off Columbine because of video games and music and movies. I mean, they watched movies such as Natural Born Killers, they've played games such as Doom, and they listened to music such as Rammstein. I mean, come on. Chris Rock, though he's a comedian, said it best in his sketch. He said, whatever happened to our kids being fucking crazy? Whatever happened to that? Whatever happened to our kids just being loony? Or, whatever happened to discipline? Because I've noticed that most of these kids get away with so many things because our parents are too afraid to discipline our kid because of DIFUS. We can't hit our kid because of DIFUS. Well, you want to know something? Here's my one word to DIFUS. Fuck that crap. Growing up, I was spanked if I did anything wrong. And I didn't grow up to be this evil person that hated the world. It's called fucking discipline. It's called, you do something wrong, you pay the price. If you can't do the time, don't do the fucking crime. Now, you've got WWE, where now I think, it wasn't too long ago, where a kid basically hurt another kid because of him playing SmackDown vs. Raw 2006. You see, right there, that just proves that kid was crazy. Let me tell you something. And another thing. Violence on TV is too much. You know, 50 years ago, you had shows like Tom and Jerry and Popeye. Where Tom and Jerry, it resulted in the freaking cat getting mauled every time he was chasing the mouse. And freaking Popeye influenced fighting. I mean, give me a break. And now, years later, you see one show that involves a punch to another person. Uh-oh, that's too violent. Mind you, your kids are going to be able to see this anyway. Do they need to see a whole lot of it at a young age? No. When I was 9, I saw the movie It. Classic film. When I was 9, around 8 years old, I was watching Austin flipping off his boss and doing the stunner on him. I was watching Sable rip her top off and posing for Playboy. I was watching The Rock doing homosexual insults to Michael Cole. I was seeing Chris Jericho clown everybody by saying to Vince McMahon that he had a very small genitalia. I saw DX telling everybody to suck it. I was eventually going to see it. Did I need to see it at that age? No. But I was going to eventually see it, no matter what. Your kids grow up. You can't keep your kids to be children. Though you can discipline them. Which is why I get so angry when these parents say, oh, it's not my fault that my kid did this thing. Check again. Because let's just say that your kid is crazy and he was influenced by this game or this movie or this music or the television show. Who let him watch it? Who let him play it? Who let him listen to it? The kid's not 18. So obviously they had to get it somehow. And if they didn't get it by you, then that just shows that the kid is a good liar and you haven't taken care of your kid, taking care of your kid long enough or good enough to understand what he's doing. Because if I lied, even if I was the greatest liar ever, my parents knew when I was lying. You see, it's this type of shit that just really gets me angry. We gotta start blaming things. Whatever happened to, again, our kids freaking being loony? Whatever happened to, oh, you not disciplining your kid well enough, or you neglecting your kid? Parenting these days has become a pussy job. Because, oh, I can't hurt my pride and joy. Fuck that. Fuck that. Kid misbehaves, you punish him. And if the kid gets out of control, you give him a spanking on the ass. Plain and simple. Screw this new school parenting crap. Now, I don't know if WWE went to PG because of the recent incidents of kids doing violent things. All I'm going to say is that no matter what, the kid may see an influence if the kid is fucking crazy enough. But even if it was an influence, it's not their fault. It's not their fault that your child seems to be a little bit whacked out. They're there to entertain those who know the difference between fiction and reality. I'm one of those. I've been playing video games for roughly 17 years. Yes, I've been playing games since I was 2 years old. And guess what my first game was? Mortal Kombat 2. You don't see me doing anything violent. I haven't broken the law. I don't smoke, I don't drink, I don't do any of that shit. You want to know why? Because up here, I know the difference between fiction and reality. I love wrestling. At the end of the day, though, it's just a show. It's a wrestling show. They're there to entertain you. They are there to put on a show for you. In fact, tonight, Extreme Rules is going to happen. I don't know if I'm going to watch it or not. But the reason they have these pay-per-views is to entertain you. They're there to entertain you. They're not there to influence you to do bad things. Because if that were the case, they'd be all shut down. Realize that your kid may be crazy. Realize that you may have not disciplined your kid well enough. Stop being a pussy. If your kid misbehaves, discipline them. Whether it be send them to their room without their Xbox, or give them a good spanking in the ass. Don't give me that excuse, oh, but my child is my pride and joy. I can't hurt him. Stop being a fucking wimp. You're the parent, he's the child. Plain and simple. Stop blaming video games and movies and fucking music and all that crap just because your parenting skills aren't good enough or your kid is just whacked out. Stop putting the blame on those things. Even if they're an influence, who got them the game? Who got them the CD? Who let them watch the show? Some kids are just whacked out, and you gotta realize that. WWE, music, movies, video games, television, they are not the reason. They are not the reason. And until you realize that, until you realize that your kid may be just fucked up in the head, or realize that your parenting skills aren't good enough, things like this are just going to keep happening. Things like this are just going to keep happening. Why do you think they keep happening? Because you're blaming the wrong thing. This is Monoxide signing off. I hope I came as raw as I can. This will be a response towards Spinnernet. You people enjoy your day.